also do this. If you send a user, and as long as they make a bid in the first 30 days or whatever, you'll get the bounty on the new user. That used to be the qualification, I guess, because I guess people were gaming the system, and
Sure.
they were sending a bunch of users that would sign up and never do anything, and they were like, we're not going to pay $6, $8 a head for these people because they're not going to become active users. So they put this little thing in there where they said, you're only going to get paid if someone makes a bid within a certain amount of days of signing up. But then they kind of evolved, and they said, you know what? Let's actually share revenue even more to get more people to promote this program. And so they offered the ability for people to promote certain products like actual auctions. And if somebody went to the site and actually bid and participated in that auction or placed the auction, they'd share some of the money of the fees they collect.
Exactly.
And that really changed the whole game quite a bit with their affiliate program. And then I guess you can kind of, and just to clarify, when you were talking about tiers earlier, in case people didn't catch what you were saying about that, the more volume you send them, like the more users you send them through your affiliate links, or the more bids and activity you send them, you can kind of get bumped up into different tiers where you get paid more. Like you'll get paid more per person. Like what's the going rate now, or what's the kind of tier breakdown now for new user? I actually haven't kept up with it in a while.
Yeah, sure. Basically, the eBay program for eBay US, and I guess we can kind of just start for how the regular affiliate program works is if you send somebody, it starts at $12 for what's called an ACRU. And that's an active something user. And basically what that means is somebody signed up and they put a credit card on file. Okay? So people think that there's already a lot of people on eBay and, we're not getting new users. Well, before we get into that, so it starts at $12 and the highest tier right now is $22. So, and there's many in between there. And to get to 22, I think you have to drive 5,000 new user signups a month. Now, there's several people that are doing that. And I have a good friend of mine who's doing well, and then there's also the revenue sharing tier, which is something you touched on, which basically starts at eBay takes a percentage of the sale, and I think that is 4%, and then you can get in between. I think it starts at 30% and goes to 70%. 70% of that revenue share being the highest tier and 30% being the starting. So, and that's of the actual sale price of the item. So eBay takes their 4%, and then you take, the 30 to 70%. And I believe those numbers are correct. I'm kind of going right off the top of my head, but they're very close. So you can see that if you're starting out, and you're not driving very much, you're not doing a thing. So kind of what we did with auction ads is we kind of said, let's be one affiliate and then let everybody combine their traffic to make sure everybody gets the highest payouts. So, it really, we're basically on the top tiers. And next month, they're switching it up, so they're going to pay like $40 per new sign up. And
wow.
Yeah, so it's really tremendous to our users. Their income is going to increase dramatically, and they're also stepping up the tiers for the payout structure. And then the funny thing is as soon as you think you have a good understanding of eBay US, we have relationships with 14 different countries, eBay programs. So even if, like the old school way, if you were an eBay, commission junction affiliate, you still had to set up relationships with all these countries. And then, nobody did it. But basically, that's what we looked at our program and said, okay, what features are missing? And the biggest thing was geo-targeting. So one of the biggest things we did was, when we set up relationships with all these other countries, and then we set up geo-targeting automatically. So if somebody comes from your site that's an international user, that traffic is not lost. Because as many people know, with Google AdSense or any of these other things we've talked about, as Google Ads, ringtone offers, those, somebody coming from Italy can't use any of that. And most likely, even with Google AdSense, there's no inventory to display, so they're going to see what's called a PSA if they're using Google AdSense, where with auction ads, they'll actually see auctions from eBay Italy and be taken to eBay Italy.
Why don't you explain real quick what a PSA is?
PSA, public service announcement. It's basically an
ad that you get nothing for.
Yeah, an ad that...
But it's like, thanks for being a good person and just letting us run like a charity ad on your site that you won't make money for.
Exactly. So, yeah, and basically a lot of international traffic. And if you're not sure, you can always test it by using a proxy somewhere in the world if you want to see what that world sees. And you'll find it's really, there's actually a thing, and while I say that, I should actually give out the address is Tor. I think it's EFF.org. You can Tor is a proxy, and it's kind of like an anonymous proxy. They have, and it's all throughout the world. So you can kind of specify your exit point.
Is that the Electronic Frontier Foundation site?
It is. So, and they, I believe that's the entrance. I can look that up while I'm talking too. But basically, with that, you can kind of look. It's tor.eff.org. So, and basically, it's just it's kind of a big proxy networking, so you can kind of see what people see, and the thing you'll find when you use Tor and you look at your own site is like probably 90% of the time you're going to see PSAs when you look at Google AdSense, where if you have auction ads there, you're going to see ads, but they're going to all these different countries. So
what you're saying is, then let me clarify what you're saying. So if they have the code on their page from auction ads, and somebody comes from, let's say, Germany to view this page, like let's say they have a blog, they have the auction ads code running, pasted in like one of their right-hand columns, let's say, and someone loads the page from Germany. Now, are they going to see items and stuff pulled through the eBay Germany affiliate program?
Well, they actually see items from the U.S. program, but
okay.
when they click, it goes to a search page for the keyword for the German site. So they're taken to the German site so like if the ads were for iPods, they'll see the actual US iPod, ad, but when they click on it, it will take them to search results, which show them for everything for iPods. So that was recommended to us because the way the back end works, we can't actually pull results from every country, but what we can do is target them, and that's what we found, and it converts very, very well.
So it's like the next best thing. It's
exactly.
Like you can't actually go out there and pull stuff. At least you can give them stuff from their own country's site. And I think that's where eBay is probably going to see its most growth in new users is from these international markets.
Yeah, and actually we talked about the tiered structure, and as soon as you think you understand, that's what I started to say when I started explaining the geo-targeting is, as soon as you think you understand the US tiered structure, every country values new users differently, and like for instance, eBay Germany only pays out on bids, and that's a tiered structure as well. So like they pay like 13 cents a bid all the way up to I think it's almost 30 cents a bid, and of course we're one of the top tiers in Germany. France, on the other instance, they value everything on a new user, so they pay like $20 at their starting level, right around there, for a new user, but nothing in rev share. So so what we've done is taken that whole process and simplify it so that basically we do all that for you and have worked on the highest tiers in every country, so that you can just jump into auction ads, put the code up. It's as easy to use as AdSense, yet it gives you the much higher payout like the eBay affiliate program. And go ahead. One of the best things about it is you can run it side by side with AdSense. I mean, there's no problems with running it on the same page as.
I was going to ask you two important evil monopolistic giant gorilla corporate questions. One, is eBay cool with you doing this? And two, is it against Google's terms of service? And will it keep you from being able to run AdSense on the same page?
Yeah, it's totally fine with eBay. It's totally fine. And with actually I think it's safe to announce. I mean, we've actually won their developer award, and we've actually been nominated for a few technology awards from eBay. So eBay totally.
So they like what you're doing.
Oh my gosh! I just spent I've spent a couple weeks out there. So that's during AdTech I was actually out there mainly to talk with eBay and stuff. Yeah, no matter what, they win. So it's really funny because a lot of people I've seen commented, they said, I wonder how big eBay will let you get before they'll stop you, and I said, wow, and I share this with eBay people, and they laugh and they say, wow, that's funny, because we're just driving them new customers from all countries. I mean, it's for them keeping this. I mean, they actually have had a product similar to auction ads in development for years and years and years, but they've tested it, and that's because mainly they see more value, and this is in my opinion from talking to them, that they see more value in letting